Let's get started. Our first question will come from Anthony DiComo.
Hey, Kris, if you don't mind, maybe you could just run down what you liked about both players you took tonight. I think he's still muted, Zach.
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, first off, Carson, Benge, extremely athletic, outfielder for Oklahoma State, also moonlights as a pitcher. This guy excited us with his approach in the box, his power at the plate, his athleticism in the outfield. He's just a baseball player. He's very instinctive, makes a lot of contact, takes his walks. He's shown us plus raw power and BP. We think he can be a five-tool type center fielder long term.
Do you envision him pitching in pro ball?
That's some conversations we'll have with him as we get closer. But like right now, we're just excited that he was still on the board, and I mean, just a two-way talent that's very good both ways. So it's something we'll discuss with him, and excited to possibly get him in here shortly.
And how about Santucci? What did you like about him?
Yeah, it's power stuff from the left side. Hasn't pitched a ton. Was mainly an outfielder in high school. Showed up to Duke and showed elite velocity from the left side. He'll work mid-90s. He's got a power slider. Misses a ton of bats. Hasn't really thrown a changeup much until he got to Duke, and it came on early in the year. I saw his first start. He flashed it there. Continually got better. So it's a pitch I think still developing, but something we think can be a solid pitch for him in the future. So it's a complete repertoire. He knows how to attack and get both types of hitters out. So it's a potential starter long term, one we're very excited about, and think he can do good things for the Mets organization.
You had been linked to Benge on a lot of mock drafts heading into it. How much was he? I mean, I know, but how much was he? Maybe someone that you had your eyes on that could potentially get to you there at 19.
Yeah, I mean, you allocate your resources across the whole country. Try not to pay attention to the mocks. He was an exciting player for us from the get-go. Our area scout, Trey Cobb, did a great job seeing him early, raising the flag, and we continued to lay our looks on him. And he was a pleasure to scout throughout the process. The things he can do on the diamond we think are special. So for it to work out as the mocks somewhat predicted, we're ecstatic to get him.
Cool. Thank you.
Tim?
Hey, Kris. As far as him being a pleasure to scout, what did you see or what did one of your guys see that sort of made a lasting impression along those lines?
I think the fact that he can just do everything on a baseball field, like I touched on, just the instincts that he shows in the outfield and in the box. He really knows the zone. He shows the power, and I think he's still filling out and growing. So we project even more power as he grows into that frame. Spending time doing both obviously is a toll on your body. So getting him, in a pro development landscape, getting him going, at the plate, in the box, and just seeing what the future is for him, I think it's unlimited. Like he's just a very talented baseball player.
And then you mentioned hoping to get him in pretty soon. Do you guys have any plans to get him to New York or St. Lucie or anything along those lines?
Too early to tell. We just went through night one here. We still have to have conversations and see where it goes, but we'll have an update on that at a later time.
Thank you.
Peter?
Hi, Kris. Just what were your points of emphasis as you went through this process with scouting, with meeting with the players? Just what were some of the things that were important to you as you went through this?
Yeah, obviously the background where these guys come from is very important. When we talk to them, we like to get to know them as a person. What kind of time, what kind of energy, what kind of fit he will be for the Mets organization is very important to us. And Carson and Jonathan both checked all those boxes. We met with them in the winter. We sat down with both of them at the combine. We were impressed by both individuals and think they'll be great fits.
Mark?
Hey, Kris, thanks for doing this. Just following up on that question, both these guys, at least for a while, were two-way players in college. Is that athleticism maybe a trait that you value, maybe more than others might?
I don't know about more than others, but we definitely value it highly. Obviously, the guys you see on TV a lot of them had very, very good athleticism growing up, and those type of athletes they tend to have aptitude. They tend to make improvements quicker than others, so that's something we definitely look for in any player we draft.
Thank you.
Any other additional questions? Andrew?
Hey, Kris, thanks for the time. Just curious, how did the kind of the timeline, these both being college players, you saw a lot with this draft, a lot of college players were taken early. How did that kind of factor into just your decision making overall with these two picks, guys that are coming from colleges, maybe opposed to high school players that are maybe more projects?
Yeah, I mean, we look at each player individually, and there was plenty of high school players on our board in good spots that came close to being selected as well. But obviously, the college player you have more history with, you get to know them a little better. We have data support to give you a little more confidence in possibly selecting him. But this draft had a few high school players that were high on our radar as well, but in the end, very excited to get these two college players into our system, potentially.
Last chance for any more questions for Kris. All right, Kris, congratulations on day one. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, everyone.